Hello and welcome to another episode of Slay the Spire. We're gonna try and get 3 in a row today. Let's do it. I'm hyped. On the silent, of course. Silent main. Okay. We've got Hexaghost. A nice fire elite fire after the chest if we want it. Ooh, but it's only one elite before the chest. No fires. Okay. So what about elite fire? Fire elite. What are my options? Random rare is pretty good. Random common relic is I also like quite a bit. I think I'm gonna pick the random common relic. Let's just do it. I have a lot of options, so I don't need to necessarily pick this apart before I take my bonus. I should take my bonus and see what it tells me. If I feel like this, like either of these bonuses are fine. I think this one's probably a bit better. Potion belt. Okay, it's like more of like a late game relic. It does make me want to take more fights, I guess. Let's go to this elite. I know it's a little bit of an early elite, but we're gonna try and handle it. Not a great opening hand. I'm gonna take some damage guaranteed next turn. At least I drew the 2 defends that were still in there, so that's good. That's a good turn. He's dead next. Okay. So we took 4 damage. It's fine. We got potion is good. Hexaghost. Footwork is good against Hexaghost, but Sneaky Strike is also very good. I'm gonna take the footwork though. Don't have a lot of options to take footworks. Wow. Let's just buy all the potions. Okay, so I don't need to fight hallway fights aggressively, so now I can just take these question marks. This is not a good question mark, but I guess we know Boot and Ornamental Fan are out of the pool. It's probably not a good thing, but oh well. Ornamental Fan anyway. Boot, I guess, is probably good to get rid of. And Abacus is also probably good to get rid of. I mean, get rid of. We're not, like, doing anything actively, just we're noting that we can't see those cards anymore. 11 health for a bit of gold, or remove a card. Moving a card is weird. Since I added a footwork that defends are better, but removing a strike makes me weak. So let's just go ahead and heal. That health actually might be useful. I know it's only 11 health, but and it is a Hexaghost act, but I've got potentially 2 elites coming up here. How are we against these elites, I wonder? Okay, we can be greedy and block here because we have exactly 18 damage in our drop pile, which we have a couple of turns to draw it. Hopefully we don't have to throw a potion on the floor here, we'll see. Okay, well we're gonna toss the smoke bomb and trust that these cards can get us through. Cloak and Dagger's fine, but bad against Gremlin Knob. Gremlin Knob could be a doozy. Please don't be Gremlin Knob. Go figure. Mayhem's a bit of a doozy as well. Okay. I think we're just dead. We're probably not dead. It's definitely lucky that Mayhem did not hit a skill there, because we're gonna need this fight to go for a while, so we need to not pump his strength if we can avoid it. Wow, that was lucky too. This cost us 3, but saved us 3. So, like, that's 10 health saves right there. I think that's probably good enough. Boom, boom, boom. I guess we'll save a little bit more health here. Because he's dead to 2 strikes. Okay, that went actually acceptably well. Omamori, meh. Backstab is good. I think we should take that. I was thinking actually a lot about going this way, and I just kind of going really fast clicked on this right away. I shouldn't do that if I'm trying to win, just clicking too fast. But this is probably the best way to have gone anyway. Get some extra damage on the cloak and dagger. I think we're gonna need it. Okay. Deadly Poison's great, because I don't have a way to beat Hexaghost right now. So that gives me a way to beat Hexaghost. And then we go and fight this elite, get an extra upgrade, something, something. Permanent Form's great. Take 1 here, because I want to make sure he's dead in time. Maybe that was foolish. Maybe he's always dead in time. I could have saved the 1. I think he's almost always dead in time. Yeah. Could be at 27 right now. Might not matter. Piercing Will's fine. It's not great. Maybe I skip it. It's not good against this elite fight. And it's good against Hexaghost though. Like, it's okay against Hexaghost, but just like with the footwork, it's especially low impact. I think it's gonna be good in Act 2. Okay, probably Deadly Poison, because we still need the damage upgrade help if this is Lagavulin, which it is. Deadly Poison plus might get us there, we'll see. Piercing Whale. I don't want in the deck. I want to draw my Deadly Poison more often, I guess, is what it really comes down to. We will go ahead and do this. Get these cards to skip a shuffle since they're no good anyway. And save myself a good deal of life there. Get closer to the Deadly Poison as well. Lots of reasons to do it that way. Okay, can I afford to save myself 5 life? Weirdly, I think I can. Do we ever triple block? He takes 10. And then next turn he's attacking for 15, which I can full block. Yeah, since I have full block next turn, I don't need to try and kill next turn at the cost of life this turn. I can just save as much as I can this turn, and then full block next turn. We're at 24, not a good life total for Hexaghost. Ooh, Tincture though is very good. And Venom is probably not necessary. I'd take a Quick Slash in this position, maybe? Just because I don't have any damage cards I've added to my deck. And it has a decent upgrade. Okay, definitely taking a risk here. 4 life, no potions. Lots of kill on you. Which I kind of need. And then next turn, Hopefully my dexterity allows me to block with my extra card draw there. That helps a lot as well. Okay, I'm not dead, so that's good. Do I have lethal though? Yes, I do. Nice. I definitely high rolled that fight. Infinite blades versus poison stab. Poison stab goes well with deadly poison a little bit. Deflect is good as well though. Interesting. I think against Hexaghost I want the one more poison card. Yeah, we need to kill fast enough, and that's looking hard to do. We should rest. And look at that, perfect Hexaghost life, because I took 20 and then I gained 19. The work on turn 1 is whatever. I mean, it's good. I'd rather see deadly poison, which I didn't see on turn 1. We'll go ahead and Piercing Will here. Saves me 5 life over the block card that was being shown. Good. Yikes. Could have used the dexterity potion. I'm feeling pretty good about this fight though, so I elected not to, but maybe that's a little foolish. I don't want to take 2. I don't know how much 6 damage is going to matter though. It might matter a huge amount. Deadly poison early on in the shuffle is good. Yikes, dexterity could have saved me up to 4 health so far now. Oh, I think I've maybe missed out on some tincture damage too. Okay, we could be screwed here. We're close, but not quite. Yeah, we're screwed. Oh. Now we're screwed. Dang. Even if I had 4 more health from the dexterity potion, it wouldn't have mattered, right? We're at an effective 29, we need 39, 40, we need, no, 38. Just don't quite have it. Maybe saving the Piercing Will was good. I don't know though. It's not very likely it shows up on this exact turn. I'm curious, was there any... So if I drink this right away, and then I actually get in a little bit more damage here, this seems necessary. Well, now if I drink the dexterity potion, then this only saves me 3 life over the defend. So maybe I keep it in the deck now. Gives me an out. Definitely, like, we already lost this fight. So I probably will just actually start another run after this, whether this works out or not. But I do want to see for my own curiosity if one, choosing to save the life with Dexterity Potion right away matters, and 2, if keeping the dart or the Piercing Will in the deck is a good idea. The poison seems too important. I have to take another 3 though for it. Similar decision here, 9 damage or 2 health. I guess we saved the 2 health. Okay, and then we're dead anyway, but we did have an out to drop Piercing Wail. Playing this way. Which means that this was the correct way to do it, because, I mean, we happened to see Deadly Poison at convenient times during the fight. But really, I think what is worth thinking about on the Piercing Wail turn on turn 2 is that we're never gonna kill. Like, if we do the math, you can probably recognize that we're never gonna kill before this turn. So if we're never gonna kill before this turn, the only way to win this fight is to keep Piercing Wail on the deck and maybe draw on this turn, which we didn't. But playing through the fight both ways, it seems we die either way. But it seems clear that it was much better to at least keep the Piercing Wail on the deck. Even though every shuffle I'm choosing not to draw it, so I'm getting through my deck a little bit more slowly, it's not that big of a deal. Getting through the deck more slowly. Let's just do another one real quick. I mean, we could do some little analysis what went wrong there. I think I was probably just a little greedy. Like, definitely skip Shining Light. Wins Hexaghost there. If I skip Shining Light and rest. So that's just one like really quick way to do it. Just don't be so greedy. I don't know if there's much else to read into this, because Act 1 was like not super complicated. We took some pretty like not good Act 1 picks, right? Well, like this we had no option. But this was a good Act 1, heads up Act 1 pick. I think we technically skipped something here, but we spent the gold here anyway. Buying all the potions was definitely incorrect. But right here, like, we could have taken Sneaky Strike instead of Footwork. I think that would have been worse, even in Act 1. I don't know, it would have saved us a lot of health in Gremlin Knob, probably. Or at least some health in Gremlin Knob. Took 36 damage there. Deadly Poison seemed super correct. That's the only thing that gave us a chance against Hexaghost. And then right here, we could have taken Bane instead of Piercing Wail. I guess that was better. We should have taken Bane instead of Piercing Wail also. So that's another little minor thing. I knew the whole act I had in the back of my head, and I didn't necessarily articulate this every time it came into my mind. But it's demonstrating itself right here on floor 10 that I knew we were behind on front-loaded damage. Bane is weird front-loaded damage because our only source of damage, or our only source of poison at that point was Deadly Poison. But at this point, I guess I probably was overestimating how good the one Deadly Poison was against Hexaghost, and so I could have recognized I need a little bit more damage as well, since I'm already down to 26 life. Upgrade Deadly Poison seems like a no-brainer. It actually was probably the only reason we were able to take 2 against Lagavulin. And Venom would have helped against Hexaghost. I wonder, that's interesting. Because I hate Quick Flash. I just took it because I felt like I was desperate, since I didn't take the Bane, right? But imagine we take Bane and then we take in Venom. And then we take Infinite Blades. Hard to say. Hard to say. I felt pretty good about our choices in general. Remove 2 cards is not my favorite. Transform 2 cards I like way better. Obtain a random rare card is quite good on silent, but 100 gold is probably even better. Fire Elite, which is pretty nice, into Elite Fire is kind of the best we can do. Pick up the 100 gold and go to the floor 3 shop. Okay, we can full block here, so I guess we do, and then put them both to 12 so we can kill either one of them with 2 strikes, whichever one's attacking. In this case, they're both attacking, so we just full block again. Now they're guaranteed to not be attacking. We kill the back one because he's buffing himself. Now this guy's only attacking for 7, but we can kill him anyway. Dagger Spray for 1 is quite good. Our boss is Slime Boss, so Dagger Spray is good against Slime Boss. Just take the 1 against Jawworm. Our first card pick was just an 8 damage card, which is not that much better than a strike in this fight. So we don't feel like we get away with being more greedy than we normally would be. This is unlucky though, another forced 2 damage here. Wish he had been only attacking for 12. Not a huge deal, we've taken 3 damage total. Die is phenomenal. Pellets is good. Noxious Fumes is acceptable to go with the Pellets. Although we can't afford both. We also can't afford Pellets and Blade Dance. Is it even Pellets then? I think it's still Pellets. We're very far ahead right now because of Dagger Spray and Die. And even Fruit Juice is just kind of like a nice addition. We're 1 off of Orange Pellets Dagger Throw. I guess we can Orange Pellets Flechettes. But why? I take Flechettes. It's not good with Slime Boss. I'm gonna not spend the gold on Flechettes and just trust my deck. Just give me what I need it to. Unlucky draw. To not draw any of our AoE. Actually, we could have intentionally left the front guy up, but I'm glad that we're not weak here. Because now we have lethal. We could have left the front guy up thinking like, oh, he'll die to our AoE anyway. Okay, backflip is generally good. Escape plan is also pickable. I don't know, like kind of synergy with Orange Pellets, and then it's an easy way to play a skill. It's not against Chosen and Knob. Like it's actively bad against Chosen and Knob, but it's also like not great against anything that puts statuses in our deck. So it's like not good against Slime Boss necessarily. We only have 6 skills, right? Which would be only about 1/3 of our deck. So Escape Plan is like, I don't know. When you think about it that way. It's like Escape Plan is on average 1 block, but it doesn't cost us a card or an energy, so it's like once per shuffle. It's like adding a relic to your bar that says once per shuffle, gain 1 block. Randomly. Not super strong, but could be worse. Backflip is generally very good, though I don't know if we need the, if like we can justify the card draw right now. I'm gonna pick backflip. Seems like a more no-nonsense pick. Okay, I want to block, and then I'll just try and maximum damage on the one who's attacking the most next turn. A nice die kills him. Didn't get it. Ancient Potion saves me 3 life. The thing is, Ancient Potion's not likely to be useful for the rest of Act 1. Technically it helps against Knob. Actually it helps quite a bit against Knob, right? So save it for Knob. And just take 4. Because we have an extra potion slot available since we can just drink fruit juice whenever. Yeah, so we're showing a potion in here, but we're not punished for not drinking the ancient potion because we're able to just grab this potion. Okay, Endless Agony is great. I also like the escape plan. I kind of like that it's back. Now I have a backflip and an escape plan. That's actually pretty cool. But Endless Agony is like better for now. I would have liked to take both, but I think Endless Agony is more important right now. Dagger Spray is a 4 damage AoE upgrade, which is about as good as you can expect to see. This is a hard fight. I kind of wasn't thinking about Lagavulin. I'm not happy with the Lagavulin fight. The debuff affects Dagger Spray twice. Endless Agony's become pretty bad. I think we want to open now because Neutralize Survivor are really good to open with. And do I want to put Endless Agonies in the deck? I'm giving up on damage now to do it. I think the answer is no. If I wasn't opening now, I think I could say yes, but because I am going to open now. Okay, anyone know which debuff comes first? I think it's... Super worried about damage this fight. We'll just let you deal 10 to us. I think it's... I wonder if Swift Potion to improve the shuffle order there was better. Shoot, are we just dead? Yeah, we're toast. Hold on. I'm playing a little bit fast and loose. I guess technically this would be the start of a win streak if I win this run, so maybe I shouldn't delegitimize that by doing another start and quit. I say another start and quit, I mean the previous start and quit was... So it's like right here, just strikes and defends are super bad to spend energy on, so if I use the Swift Potion, I make sure that Survivor and Dagger Spray don't skip a shuffle. But I guess I'm not even allowed to Survivor, so I guess I just make sure Dagger Spray doesn't skip a shuffle. I think we're dead anyway. We can use the Ancient Potion because it looks like we're gonna die. But there's like no way to deal 33 anymore. There's not no way. But it was bad missing all those strikes on that turn a couple turns ago. And he's at 7. Strikes deal 2. Dagger Spray deals 4. So it's possible to kill next turn. We didn't get it, but it's possible to live. But we need to play 1 strike to have lethal next turn. To have lethal guaranteed, that is. Turnip. We'll play on. If we win this run, then I don't know, asterisk next to next to the start of the streak. Because we had to use the Swift Potion on that specific turn to get Dagger Spray played 1 additional time in that fight. To make sure we don't die. And we're still probably going to lose. Choke, I guess, is good with the Endless Agony, although I didn't pick up that escape plan. Choke's not usually good. Why am I thinking it would be good in this case? I'm just feeling desperate because that fight went so poorly, but really my deck is good against most of the other things we'll see. I guess it's not great against Knob, especially at 7 life. I die to the second hit of Knob unless I land Neutralize on that turn. Like, flying these probably a little bit more of a no-nonsense pick. If I'm worried about Knob, I am not going to take down 150 gold sucks. Shuriken's great, and then it is Knob. I'm supposed to backflip? Okay, we could get the neutralize this turn, but we didn't. Dang it. So we have to Survivor. And then we might as well defend because we're always dead next turn if we don't kill next turn, which we never kill next turn. Yeah. Okay, for this save and quit, I will just die in the fight, even if this alternative, because this is one of the things where like this is legit just like abusing the save and quit mechanic to just like nonsensically roll the other dice that you rolled. But like right here, it could be that with the way the draw order works, if we don't play backflip, we maybe actually get lethal in time. I don't think we do, but it's possible because we get to spend all of our energy on damage more efficiently. But we don't draw the die, even if we did, right? Well, if we did, we would be 1 damage off, which is interesting. Kind of cool to think about the potential outs in this fight. What is Gremlin Knob's health roll? I'm just curious if like we get a better draw order and he rolls less health. Yeah, 85 to 90, so he rolled almost maximum health. If we didn't bottom deck die, but of course like then we have to like do this weird thing where we know not to play backflip. Or alternatively, when we play backflip, our cards are in a better order. But very interesting. Dead to Knob. Well, dead to Lagavulin, right? Because we... Well, why were we dead to Lagavulin? No, I'm not doing another run. But I do want to look at the run history. Why are we dead to Lagavulin? Because we didn't take... Oh, probably because of the shop, right? In the shop, you just buy Blade Dance and Flechettes. Then we took Orange Pellet because we were trying to take a greedy pick for the late game. Which, I mean, sometimes is correct, but we're not... we had just gotten a die though, right? It felt like we were ahead. And like when you're ahead in Act 1, you should definitely like look for ways to compromise to be strong in the late game. And like Orange Pelts is actually like a really meaningful way to be strong in the late game. It's not like a card pick, right? Sometimes you convince yourself that certain card picks are really important. It depends, but like something like backflip. I mean, we did take a backflip here. This is worth talking about too. Escape Plan, I might have been better against Lagavulin, but it might not have been. Probably would have been better. Endless Agony was definitely better than Escape Plan though. And then upgrade Dagger Spray, and then die to Lagavulin. I mean, we didn't literally die. I mean, I guess we did literally die, right? Because we had to restart the fight to win. But 50 damage is a death sentence with a forced delete coming up after that. I mean, the event was no help either, but you should not rely on events to be anything meaningful in Act 1. They're like actually usually actively bad. Empty nodes on events, I guess, are technically below average because there aren't any events that like force you to get wrecked. It's just like events that give you an option to either get wrecked or do nothing, and so events tend to be do nothing floors. And the relic was even excellent, phenomenal. I mean, obviously shows why it would be good to have taken Blade Dance here. That's just like especially bad against Lagavulin. It's incredible in Act 1, even incredible in Act 2, right? Best rare that you can see. So like seeing a rare on floor 2, and for it to be die, makes you feel like you must be way ahead of the curve. That's going off of like feelings rather than like actually specific information from the run. And the specific information from the run is that by the time we get to this shop, even though it feels like we're way ahead because we got like a really nice no nonsense damage card on turn 1, and then the best thing we could have seen in the game on floor 2. In reality, die exhausts, and Dagger Spray gets, you know, double punished by Lagavulin. they're both AoE cards, whereas Lagavulin not an AoE fight. So we can see right here that it's like we're just bad against Lagavulin, and so we're supposed to just take more damage, and then we're fine against Lagavulin. But if you don't think about Lagavulin, or you don't think about your actual situation, when you get to the shop, it makes a ton of sense to take orange pellets. We're way ahead of the curve. We just saw Die. Die is crazy at this point in the game. But that's not the way you're supposed to play Spire. You don't play off of feelings, and you don't... Which is hard, right? I mean, runs... That's the reason why my winning runs take so long, is because... Or... I guess that there's a reason why other people's winning runs don't take as long as mine, is because there is a real legitimate reason to play off of feeling, and that's the ability to optimize on the decisions that are important by just playing what makes sense on decisions that you hope are not important. It's also a little bit less about playing on feeling and more about playing on comparison. This goes into the feeling aspect, but it feels very satisfying to evaluate decisions based on high rolls and odds across runs. So talking about Die being the best possible card I could see here, is a lot less meaningful if you are willing to set aside the base urge of comparing one run to another, comparing one run to the average outcome of runs, or comparing one run to all other runs, because there's nothing useful to learn about the average. There's nothing useful to learn about your run by thinking about the average run. That's probably the most profound thing I've concluded in this post-game rambling. There's nothing useful to gain about this run by comparing it to the average run. The only little asterisk I would say next to that is that it is useful to know things like your chances of seeing a certain card, or the likelihood of seeing certain types of relics based on having a really strong familiarity with the aggregate data. Understanding that when you're offered a footwork, for example, on floor 1 next to a sneaky strike, you still have to think about it only in the context of your run and not in the context of all runs. But if you understand the aggregate data of the context of all runs, you will know that any particular uncommon card is not guaranteed to show up even a single time over the course of a run. And footwork is a silent card unlike any other. And so when you recognize like what the chances are, it'd be good to know the math on it actually, rather than just like being familiar with the aggregate data to actually be able to like point to specific stuff in the data. Like footwork shows up in exactly 68% of runs or something. So that if you see it on floor 1, basically you still have the whole run in front of you, and seeing it on floor 1 doesn't make it any less likely to see on any other floors. So if you could say with certainty, like on floor 1, you're like, okay, I have a 68% chance that I'll see another footwork. But more importantly, it's like I have a 32% chance that this is the only footwork I'll ever be able to take. Which means I have an opportunity on floor 1 to solve my block problems, my scaling block problems. In a way that may not just in a way that may not be offered again for the rest of the run. But if you're like there's a 32% chance I'm not given footwork as my opportunity to solve my block solution at all. So now I have to roll the dice on any of the other scaling block solutions that exist in the silent pool in the game. And you also might not see those. Now, of course, like, the chances as you compound all the options get really small. So like now you can be thinking about like the chances that I see no more footworks and no more wraith forms and no apparitions in Act 2. And on and on and on. And no kunai, you know. And you can, as you recognize that there are a whole field of options for damage or for block scaling solutions, of course it means that footwork isn't your only chance to win. So if you're able to narrow it down to a 32% chance that you see no more footworks, that doesn't mean you have a 32% chance to lose the game in consequence of never finding a block solution. But there is still some chance, when you account for all the possible block solutions, that you're never shown a block solution after floor 1. And so knowing what those chances are can guide you greatly on floor 1 to decide that it's correct to take footwork. Not because it's especially lucky to see footwork on floor 1 compared to the first chance I would be able to see footwork in any other run, but because you just understand how rare it is to see footwork in a run. So I'm going to circle back to what I thought was my best point and then wrap this up. There is nothing useful to gain. There's nothing useful to learn. That's the word I use. There's nothing useful to learn about your current run by comparing it to the average run. So that lesson, which I'm saying with such ceremony so it can be engraved in my mind so I don't lose a run like this again. This is 100% winning run since we have a shuriken on floor 9 and good cards in the deck. We need to not make the foolhardy mistake on floor 3 of comparing our run to the average run and saying that we're way ahead of how powerful a deck would normally be at this point, and instead saying we're actually just way behind against Lagavulin. Even if we're less behind against Lagavulin than a normal deck would be at this point, we're still too far behind Lagavulin. Now that might not even be true. Like on floor 2, like even though Dagger Spray and Die are very good, there are a lot of other way more common picks on the first 2 floors that make you way stronger against Lagavulin. Like if you took a Dagger Throw and a Poison Stab, for example, which I think in total make your deck worse than Dagger Spray and Die, but I think they make your deck better against Lagavulin. And they're also like quite good against all the other elites. The point being that like you could walk into floor 3 with just like really mediocre damage commons having been picked on floor 1 and 2, and actually still be farther ahead than we were here when we made this foolish orange pellets pick. But the other thing is it's probably very rare to ever be far enough ahead on floor 3 to make nonsense picks like this over straightforward options like Blade Dance. And even though Blade Dance does get hit by Lagavulin 3 times, it's also just way more effective than Dagger Spray or Die already. It's 12 damage. Die has 13 damage, but Blade Dance doesn't exhaust. And Dagger Spray upgraded is 12 damage, but which it probably would still be the upgrade, I guess. So I guess Dagger Spray is just as effective as Blade Dance before the Lagavulin debuff, and more effective than Blade Dance after the Lagavulin debuff, but the point is I would take 2 1 energy 12 damage cards by floor 3 every single time, because it just makes it so much more likely that you beat any elite that you see. Whichever one you're weak against. We just happen to be weak against Lagavulin. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. I learned something. A couple quick bad runs to ruin our 2 streak. 2 streaks, not a big deal, but it does suck to continue to fail to streak. Like if we're ever gonna beat the record, we need to be discontent with losing 2 in a row so often. We lost 3 in a row. Yeah, losing these small amounts of wins in a row so often. I guess, I mean, really it just means we need to be discontent with our 75% win rate. Because a 75% win rate will never win 28 games in a row. A 90% win rate is very unlikely here. Now I've gotten myself down another rabbit hole where I'm not wrapping up the video even though I'd begun it, but you know, 0.9 to the 28th power is 0.5%, which I think is an acceptably high percent to like grind out, right? It's like not 0.5%, it's 5%. 0.5% would probably be unacceptably low, just because how long a theoretical sequence of streaks takes. It would be way too many years, just because I don't get so many runs in every week. But 5% is super acceptable, right? That's like 1 in 20. And I can reasonably get a sequence of 20 runs. So I just need to get up to a 90% win rate or better. And once I get myself to a point where I have a 90% win rate, then it's just a matter of doing enough attempts until I hit my 5%er to land 28 in a row. Am I doing that math right? Yeah, 0.9 to the 28th power, because you just have to hit your 90% 28 times. 0.9 times 0.9 times 0.9. 0.9 caret 28. Yeah, it's 5%, 5.2%. So, but 75.75, which I think is about what my current win rate is, to the 28th power, is impossibly low. It's 0.03%. So it's 300ths of a hundredth. So we would have to, like, that's like 10,000 times that we would need to be, like, have a streak attempt going. If we made it through a full sequence of what's considered a legitimate streak attempt 10,000 times, we would expect to have beaten the record about 3 of those times, 28 in a row, if we just have a 75% win rate. So we just need to get our win rate up. And we get our win rate up by learning, and we learned something useful here, so that's good, I guess. This is an improvement on the win rate, probably. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.